Welcome to the Sideline pregame show. I'm Jake Berry alongside Mark May. And Mark, the last regular season game is upon us. McAllen versus PSA North. We'll start our week out. What do we know about this game?
Well, for McAllen, it's kind of their Super Bowl. They're not going to qualify for the playoffs, so this will be it for them. So you know they want to go out on a bang. They won last week, their first district win, the 28-27 victory over La Jolla Juarez Lincoln. So you know they're going to be fired up and ready to play tonight.
Yeah, and McAllen comes in after beating Juarez Lincoln in a very close game last week, and they'll be playing at PSA North, who's playing for their lives right now. They need some things to happen for them, but PSA North has a chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah, they could still get in if they can get into a three-way tie for that fourth playoff spot. Some different things need to happen, but of course they need to win first and foremost. So they've got incentive on their side. McAllen has incentive on their side. When you look at PSA North, they have a good quarterback who's about 50 yards away from getting to 1,000 yards. That's Runhell, has about 7 touchdown passes, but mainly they like to run the football. Gonzalez, their running back, has over 1,300 yards rushing this season. The last 2 games he's had 365 yards, so I mean he's really been tearing it up as of late. So that'll be the main assignment, if you will, for McAllen. They'll need to stop Gonzalez, or at least be able to contain him and maybe force North into a little uncomfortable situations. And then when you look at McAllen, their quarterback Hunter Curl looks like the quarterback of the future. He's been only a sophomore, but he's gotten better and better each week. And they've also got they've got some good running backs and Misir, and then also the wide receivers Octavian Lewis, and also Quinn Canada. In fact, Quinn Canada was the topic of he was the subject of our interview for this week.
Hi, my name's Quinlan Canada. I play wide receiver for McAllen Bulldogs. My favorite part about playing wide receiver is it just creates opportunity for the offense. It allows us to flow through, making us a dual threat on the running game and the passing game. There's a lot of responsibilities. I mean, not only are you trying to catch the ball, but you also got to block. The perimeter blocking is key. So if you don't do your job, a lot of things don't happen. Against Mission Eagles, even though we lost, but just receiving an 80-yard touchdown and getting us back into the game was just crazy. It was just adrenaline rush, hearing the fans and everything, just brought pride to my heart. Just be ready, man. You don't know what's gonna happen because we got a team that likes to play hard. For the seniors, it was just nice playing with them. Great family leading us to next year, preparing us for the future of McAllen football.
Welcome back to the Sideline pregame show. Now, Mark, McAllen and PSA North aren't our only games. We've got a big game here at home tomorrow night. Talk to me about McAllen Memorial versus Nicky Rowe.
Well, this is a rivalry that goes back about 25 years. They both have stellar programs, a lot of tradition on both sides, both looking to get into the postseason, or at least Nicky Rowe is. They need a win really to get in. They can still get in with the loss, but they would need some help. So you know they are focused on getting a win here tomorrow night. And then McAllen Memorial, they've won 5 in a row. They've already clinched a playoff berth, but they still have something to play for, and that's a share of the district title. And they could get that with the win tomorrow night. So Memorial coming in on the 5-game win streak, averaging about 41 points a game. They should look pretty good as they've got Campbell Spates in their running back, who's over 1,800 yards rushing, needs 172 yards to reach 2,000 yards for the season, has 28 touchdowns. So he will certainly look strong. And that'll be Rowe's assignment, is basically to contain him as much as they can, force Memorial into the 3rd and long situations, although Memorial has hit the deep ball we've seen at times, so Rowe will have to be ready for that. Looking at Nicky Rowe on offense, Ortiz, the quarterback, has been really strong. He's had 5 200-yard passing games. He had a 200-yard passing game last week against La Jolla, and also a big rushing game. He had over 100 yards, 126, I believe, rushing, including 70 yards on one fantastic highlight reel material touchdown run. We went from sideline to sideline. So that was a big one for Ortiz, and of course he's a pass run threat. And then David Savage has really come on strong as he's come back from injury in mid-season. Had his best game of the season this last week, 7 balls for over 100 yards and a touchdown. So I would definitely look for Ortiz to get the ball to Savage as much as he can. Of course, he's got other talented receivers there too. Memorial's going to rely on Spates and the occasional deep ball, and it should be an interesting contrast of styles. Memorial likes to run it. Rowe is more balanced in the run and the pass, but it should be a pretty good, entertaining game.
And on the defensive side of the ball, in order for Memorial to really stop Rowe, because Rowe has an explosive offense, they're really going to have to contain the wide receivers.
Yeah, they'll have to contain the wide receivers, and they have a couple of good guys, a couple of ball hawks in the defensive secondary, and Diego Vidal and also Justin Chadis. Yes, they both have 5 interceptions each, and they have a pretty good pass rush. Sebastian Turk kind of anchors that defensive line, and they have 21 sacks in the 9 games this season. So they can generate a pass rush, and we saw last week a Rowe against La Jolla. La Jolla generated a pretty good pass rush too that messed up Rowe's offense a little bit. So we'll look for Memorial to kind of do that this evening or tomorrow evening.
And there's your look at tonight's game and tomorrow's game. We're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, more of the Sideline pregame show.